Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, The Lost Chevalier. I want to talk about a little game that I played yesterday called Neural Dominion. But just here behind me is the gameplay recorder of said game. That's why there is another me on that screen. The original plan was to upload that footage here and let people judge for themselves, but I decided against it in the last minute, opting instead to scrap said footage into a review rather than showcasing the game itself. The reason? Well, it's simple. It will not be honest nor beneficial to the devs and publishers of the game to show off their product in its current state. What I got access to was a pre-alpha, so everything I have seen during my short session has to be taken with a giant spoon of salt. After all, remember, a game goes from prototype, pre-alpha, alpha, and then beta, and then its release. So this was rough. If I'm 100% honest, I would have not given this game out to the press or content creators yet. I would have hired a couple of private testers that will have review it and give feedback to the devs via private channels rather than this public forum that is YouTube. But well, publicity is publicity, I guess, but this one will not will hype. It can will interest and maybe have the name of your game out there, but not hype. Well, the game in question, well, let's start talking about it, okay? First come first, Neural Dominion will be, mechanically speaking, a 4X role-playing of sorts set in a cyberpunk setting. You will play as one of 5 gangs trying to take control of the city of Technograd in a free-for-all race to power and absolute domain. You will need to keep the police at bay so your business will not be disturbed. You will be able to use your diplomatic wits to win others over to your cause, purchase buildings and play politics. But this is what it is saying in the Steam page, and what I saw when I was playing had none of it. Literally, none of it. But again, it is a pre-alpha, but it was so bare bones that the characters could have been just a square and a circle going around, and I would have had the same experience, mechanically speaking, of course. The demo I played had no economics, no diplomacy, no faction selection, and not a single drop of lore to be read. In other words, it was the title of the game, and that was it. A showcase of the art and basic mechanics. A tutorial telling you how things will work in the future and what to expect. And then a single fight against another gang that was lackluster and a bummer to say the least. All in all, I wasn't able to have fun taking this demo out for a spin. I felt, because of the way I got the key, that I was a free tester for this company, a job that I tend to charge and take seriously, so I feel cheated. Thank God I didn't do a stream of this, or it would have been a disaster. But what are the good parts of the game, you may ask? Well, I can't speak of any, because everything felt so placeholder. And when I tried the normal game, I encountered a bug when I hit the battle to be outdone automatically, so nothing happens and I quit there. Having said all this, I have a couple of recommendations to the devs regarding what I was able to see in the pre-alpha demo, and then one for the publisher. Devs, do not neglect the lore of your universe. Games that are set in this genre live and die by its lore, the complexity and its dystopian features. I don't know why you picked this genre in particular, but I hope it was from a genuine love for it, because you need to love sci-fi in order to be able to convey the themes and atmosphere required to immerse your players in your worlds. If they are not hooked by your particular setting, you are going to lose them in less than 5 minutes of gameplay, if the gameplay doesn't change drastically from what I have experienced yesterday. Everything should have a little text explaining clever and interesting details about your world, details that, when put together, create a bigger picture of the city, the culture, the technology, the society, the power structure, the struggles, and desires of the characters. If players are not interested in the mission you set them off, you will not have the game lift the ground. The combat needs to go back to the drafting board. The automatic quote-unquote turn-based combat is a pain and it's anti-fun. The reason is simple: the automatization of turn-based combat, where players have no control control to who to attack, who to heal of their team, who to defend, etc. It's a tactic used by mobile and free-to-play games in order to force players to buy the strongest hero, so they can't lose a fight even when the AI makes the most stupid decisions it could have ever done. And no, controlling the abilities of your characters is not a way of circumnavigate this bump in the road. It actually exacerbates the whole thing by making you wait for your abilities to recharge, something that will make the player anxious because it has no control over the strategy other than use it as fast as you can and do not plan ahead. I recommend you do a classic RPG combat system. Let your players decide who to attack, heal, and when to use the specific skill in their character's turn. Do not use the mobile game combat system. You're going after PC players who like to have control in this type of games. If you go double down on this point, you're going to be shooting at the wrong target and get disqualified without even having a chance to prove yourself. Other thing, the tech tree is horrendous. It's painful to watch, okay? Take inspiration from other games when designing this UI. This is horrible. There is no way to know what goes before what each tech does, where to start, what is useful, where am I going, what is for this thing and what is for that other thing. You need to space things out, make the tech map be seen as a map with roads, connections, etc. And then make the offensive, defensive, and buffs be clearly distinct from one another and be in their own path each or have their own color scheme. Now to the publishers. Camlan Games, what are you doing? With this game in particular, what are you doing? I don't think putting out Steam pages for your games that are in such an early stage of development is such a good idea. You have a game with very positive reviews, but the rest of your upcoming games feel rushed into the store for no better reason than to show you are doing stuff, and dude, that is not the way to create a community around the games you publish, especially when all of them are looking good. Even Neural Dominion looks decent. But then you give the chance to influencers to play them before it's even an alpha version. So you basically end up shooting yourself in the foot. You would not be able to create hype around your games if you're showing a pre-alpha demo. It's not even the pre-alpha full, it's just the demo of the pre-alpha, so everything can go wrong there. I was not impressed, I was bored, I was wishing the whole thing will end. This was not a good move. Hype is not created this way. This creates intrigue, yes, but at the same time a lot of skepticism and a lot of disappointment. Well, those were my thoughts on Neural Dominion, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope it was interesting, informative, and you liked the video. Yeah, remember the regular thing, like and subscribe, hit the bell, etc. You can check this game out in the Steam page. I recommend you too to check out the other games of the publisher, Camlan Games. There are a couple over there that looks pretty good. Especially the one of the Middle Ages with the cult, that is just my cup of tea, and I love the art style and I think it's going to be good, but I have no idea. Well, but that is all the time I have for today. See you next time on the Lost Chevalier channel. Bye bye!